Hey guys, it's Abby once again, and today I'm going to do an in-depth review of all of the journals and planners that I used for this year. Now, I know this year hasn't ended, but I think it's high time that I actually get into these journals and planners and let you know my insights on each of them. So let's start with the Hobonichi Weeks. So I bought this last year in Berlin out of impulse because of the beautiful design. But honestly, this is just my second time using the Hobonichi Weeks, and I think it's just not for me size wise. I do have very tiny handwriting, but what I found was that this week's acted more as a little summary of my week instead of a to-do list. I started with that because I didn't really have a big planner back then to like write all my stuff, but work wise I just cannot put it and fit it all in one spread like this. But generally I really did enjoy working on the spreads, designing the elements, and yeah, basically have fun with the size. But I don't think I'm going to be buying a week's. I have debated this so much last September, but yeah, not for me for next year. But I really love the design though. The second one is this Midori Grid notebook, which I used as my bullet journal. You've probably seen these if you've seen my previous bullet journal videos. I decided to start a bullet journal for content strategy and social media this year, but I guess I didn't really use it to my full potential. My initial theory, and it still stands to me, that this theory of like it's too over decorated for work, that I cannot really make it useful for me in terms of making it efficient for work, if that makes sense. But I did enjoy, decorating and designing this, but sadly I didn't finish it and I didn't really log it because I ended up using Airtable and Excel and basically logging everything digitally. So I'm thinking of just reverting to a different planner instead of having this fully customizable one. But I did enjoy it nonetheless. So if you want to check out my bullet journaling videos for ideas and inspiration, I will link it down below. The next one is the Let's Be Explorers Undated Planner for the 2020 edition. So this one has been my holy grail for this year. I actually started it last year, October, so it wasn't really the most organized way because then I couldn't really plot my year at a glance, my goals. So that is something that I definitely learned the hard way. I also brought this to Berlin, so the first few pages don't have anything until like January, and then the start of the year we have a lot of goals. I treated this mostly as a work log where I write in the stuff that I already worked on. You also will see that I created a plan with me video on this, which I will link down below. But generally I also have a lot of empty pages because that was the time the lockdown started. When the lockdown started, I just used my Hobonichi Weeks because there wasn't anything tangible at the time and I was just at home. So in the latter part of this planner, you will see that I did have more text going on, more planning, more decorating, more logging basically of stuff that I did, ideas that I have. And I wasn't able to finish the last month because I moved to another planner, but generally I really did enjoy this. Now I found this really old rollban notebook which I didn't finish, I think like 3 years ago, and I was like, you know what, I'll just turn this into a customizable journal. So my format was basically a daily page because I just have a lot of ideas and to-do lists, and this is a little prep for my 2021 edition, which is going to be a Hobonichi cousin. So you have the clear book at the back where I store all my stickers, and yeah, this is currently what I'm using before the year comes to a close. Last but not the least, this is my Hobonichi journal. This is the EVEC, so I'm going to be showing you the July to December one. If you want to see my first half, I will link it also down below. As you can see, I have a lot of things in my journal. I would say the size was really intimidating at first because it's A5. I'm usually used to doing A6 journal spreads, but I really did enjoy it a lot, and it was really a tool for me to experiment. I also noticed though that this second half of the year became more chunky because I had a lot of things that I was sticking on the front part, which are usually packaging and stuff like that. But overall, I was very diligent in updating, so congrats and thank you to my past self for being so disciplined. I usually logged all of the things that I did, goals, stuff I watched, series, drawings, food. I really enjoyed Fleabag, that's why it's there. A lot of sentimental stuff basically, but in general, I would say that it was very tiring to work on this because again, the big pages paired with my very tiny handwriting isn't really doing it well. I would say that because I print a lot of my images and graphics, it has made it easier for me to fill it up. Also, I did a lot of collage work and also updated a lot of, work updates and stuff, so I was able to update it diligently. But actually, this month, November, was really hard for me because I just was out of it. I had a lot of work, so then I wasn't able to update for like a good 3 weeks, which was really tiring for me because I had to go back and redo some spreads, which also led me to decide on getting the day free next year instead. But overall, if I look back at this, I'm pretty happy with how it turned out because, as usual, you get really good paper for Hobonichi. I love writing all these updates and random things that are happening in my life, and I would like to say that a lot of my spreads this year have been significantly better than the previous years. I've really learned to experiment and work on things that usually I would not dabble in. And yeah, I would say that I really love Hobonichi though, so that's a given. So definitely happy with this, but again, it's very chunky and I will be using a smaller size for next year. So that's it for this little journal and planner review. I hope that you get to pick out your ideal journals and planners. I will also link some helpful videos down below. Thank you so much for watching, and make sure to subscribe for more videos and support me on Patreon to get access to more exclusive content. This has been Abby, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Always be creating. Bye!